Arizona State senior Anthony Robles was born without his right leg. But that doesn't stop the two-time All-American from being one of the top-ranked wrestlers in the country.
Back, two, you got 2 count.
My older cousin was a wrestler, and during the summertime when I was living with him, he would take me to his practices just to watch him and his varsity team practice. Their coach asked me if I wanted to jump in because one of their smaller guys, he needed a training partner that day. Freshman year, didn't know too much, just jumped in there and just fell in love with the sport and been doing it ever since.
Robles maintains he's no different than anyone else, but to those who meet the 22-year-old, he's a source of inspiration.
Well, he's a great person to be around, great inspiration only because he's a great role model. I mean, you see Anthony, he's always got a smile on his face, he's always upbeat, always willing to talk to people, sign autographs, but he just leads by example.
I can take away from him how to do all the right things on a daily basis, as opposed to looking at the long run. He looks at how he can get better every single day.
We were running outside, 3 miles, and I was like, Anthony, you don't have to do this. He's like, no, coach, I'm gonna do it. He goes, no, if they're gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So when we do stadiums, he goes up to stadiums. When we go up to Squaw Peak, he went up the mountain of Squaw Peak on his crutches. It's just amazing.
Honestly, I didn't even think having one leg interfered with what I could do. I grew up just like a normal kid. I was like, yeah, I was missing my leg, but that's not gonna stop me from doing anything. And my parents really encouraged me. And whatever I wanted to do, they were right there behind me, just pushing me on.
I think it would mean a lot to our team just to show, it doesn't matter what cards you were dealt, it matters how you deal them out yourself, and it matters how you get it done. And he's a perfect example of that.
By no means can I even imagine how difficult it's been over his years of starting when he started wrestling to learn how to wrestle and be great at what he does without a leg.
I think it's very similar to other wrestlers. It's really all about just coming up with a certain style that works for you. We're all built differently. Some of us are taller, some of us are shorter and stockier.
And our sport is built on strength and balance, and how he's learned to make those such, he has great balance. The things he does, it takes tremendous balance.
It's really just a trial and error thing, just like any other wrestler. And I really, that's pretty much it.
It seems like sometimes people try and say that he has an advantage, and I can't understand how you could say that a kid who has one leg and wrestling everyone else who has 2 has an advantage. It doesn't make sense to me, but yeah, I don't know.
This guy has trained hard, he's worked hard, everything he's gotten, he's earned. No one's giving it to him. And so you should do it as fair as you can, and you can't feel sorry for the people he's wrestling because they've had the opportunities to do the same things he's done and put in the time and energy.
When I first started, when I wasn't very good, it was an unfair advantage for me because I had one leg. But now that I'm beating a lot of guys, they're saying it's an unfair advantage because I'm missing my leg. I got a stronger upper body, so it's just those people out there. There's always gonna be those people who, no matter what you do, no matter who you are, they're gonna try to find some way to try to bring you down.
He's just the best that there is right now at that weight. That's just the way it is.
Undefeated this season, Anthony's next stop is Philadelphia to claim the one accolade that has eluded him thus far, a national championship.
Yeah, I hope so much that he wins the national championship because I think that he deserves it as much or more than anyone else in the country.
This year I'm really pushing for a national title, and that's really how I envision just closing out my senior year, just to make it a kind of a perfect end.